Okay, this is another video on an aspect of walking that many people do that I did not introduce in the long gait training or idealized walking video. And let's just get to it. So what is it? Here it is. You ready? There is too much swagger of the pelvis. There's too much pelvic drop in the walk, and mechanically we call that a pelvic drop, or it's excessive side bending through the spine. It's also lateral flexion would be another name, but this is so common as well. So when you go watch people walk, you're gonna see the boom, the boom, the boom. Let me try it. Let's see. There it is. I don't know if you can see it, but my hips are, you know what? It's kind of like a sexy walk, isn't it? Like my hips are going side to side, but there's nothing sexy about eating up your lumbar facet joints, which it totally is doing. If you have that walk, it is really injurious to the lower lumbar facet joints. They were not made to be having that amount of excessive side bending, compressive forces through them. It's also really injurious to the hip joints and the knee joints. And then ultimately it travels up to the neck. So it might look good, but it is it's not good. Look good, not good. So you definitely want to tighten up that amount of swagger, pelvic drop in the hips, and you want the pelvis to go more this direction, a rotation, versus this direction. So how would you do that? So again, people that have that drop tend to lack a good heel strike, but not all of them. So practice the heel ball toe. That might firm up the muscles and give more control to the pelvis to prevent this. Biggest cause of that is glute medius weakness. So there's, I don't know how many, but there's at least 3 or 4 videos on glute medius. So you'll want to first listen to why glute medius is important. It talks about how injurious it is if it's weak. And then there's a bunch of exercises, straight leg raise, glute medius. I think clamshells would be a part of it, but it's not isolating glute med. And then there's a single leg stance, balance, reach, glute med exercise. So there's exercises that this type of walk would need to help change the walking pattern, and they are in the low back program. All of those are in the low back program. So that would help for that. If you have this and you have back pain, that's why you have back pain. I promise you. So definitely low back program. Do the glute medius exercises, and then you're going to come back to walking with a practice of heel ball toe. The other thing you're going to want to practice is, well, for sure that single leg stance. That's the mid stance and gait. But let me think. Yes. You could practice what I taught the people who do a little bit of scissoring, or they come they cross midline in walking. There's a video on that. I gave them a anterior functional lunge exercise. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna step out with the foot face forward, land on the heel, come up. For you guys, you're gonna do this without letting that pelvis drop, and come back. So it's going to be stepping out on the front foot with a heel strike, standing completely up on that leg, and fighting not to let that hip drop. Come back. Step, come up, don't let the hip drop. Come back. Step, come up, don't let the hip drop. This is what it's going to want to do. You're not going to allow that. So you'll have to be in front of a mirror to feel that. The other thing you're going to have to do to correct that is when you step and come on, you're going to squeeze your butt. Feel a little more force through your heel. Sorry, there's some waves coming. So step, squeeze the butt, and come back. If you can't balance on one leg, because I notice I'm on uneven surface and I start to lose my balance, some of you can't do this because that balance challenge is too much. So don't land on the right foot, squeeze the butt, and toe touch with the opposite leg so that you have more points of contact for balance. So it's land, toe touch on the left, stand on the right, squeezing the butt. Let me show you from the side. So what you don't want to do is that. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to land, squeeze the butt, toe touch on the left. Step, squeeze this butt, come up tall. I'm not allowing that. That is a great, I love that. We just created that together. That is a great exercise. I actually already feel my buttocks muscle a little fatigued just from doing that, because I do have the tendency to have a little of that drop. So I'll be practicing with you, but let's try the left side. You're gonna land on that left leg with, don't forget your heel strike. You do not want to train a foot flat contact. Land on your heel, come to foot flat, squeeze the butt, toe touch. Try it at an angle. Land on the left heel, come onto the left leg, squeeze the butt, toe touch. You're not letting that happen. Whoop, nope. So this is a great exercise. I'm so excited. Okay, so that's gonna help prevent the too sexy walk that is not sexy for your joints. It's really, really, really injurious. So if you have back, hip, knee, neck pain, and you walk like that, we found the answer and we have the solution. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that practice.